Hey, it's Ryan here, and welcome to a brand new series on FIFA 21. Today, we're going to be starting off the realistic career mode with Southampton. This is career mode where we're only going to be signing realistic players, we're only going to be making realistic sales, and just basically performing how a manager would in real life as much as possible. That means, realistic fees, only signing players from realistic clubs. So, like Southampton aren't going to go and sign a bunch of players from Barcelona, are they? They're going to sign a few from maybe the MLS, maybe the Championship, maybe other leagues around Europe, not from big teams. And that also includes selling players. For example, they'll sell a lot more players to Premier League clubs than they will to Serie A clubs, um, and they're not going to sell their best players to incredible teams. Unless you're looking at players like Danny Ings and stuff, for the most part. Anyway, you're not going to have Kyle Walker-Peters going to Real Madrid unless he goes and gets up to like an 84, 85 rating at least anyway. So in terms of transfer budget, I think we had about 25, 30 mil to start with. Yeah, £30.2 million. Obviously, making sure the financial take of it is disabled. Difficulty is legendary. We're going to take the tournament with the most money. The teams look quite good, and I don't think we actually got through to the final. I think we lost quite earlier on. But another thing is also not spam buying under 21s who are going to improve massively. You want to buy more percentage on established players. So, 24, 28 roles and a few under 24s, but not too much. In terms of the youth academy, we've only got one player who looks decent, but none of them are fantastic. The board expected a mid-table finish and actually has to sign 3 youth defenders and also a run of 5 clean sheets in a row, which was surprising. In terms of the youth academy, we had a 5-star scout there for us. We also hired an English and a Turkish scout. I think they're both 4.5-star, 4-star, 5-star, sorry. And we sent them out to England, Wales, and the Republic of Ireland. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the squad that we have and also the training plans that I've put on the squad that you can see. Going to start with playing a 4-4-2 formation as that's the way the squad is set out pretty much. It's like the best the best fit for the squad, either a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. I might move to a 4-3-3 or a 3-back formation in future, but for now, this is what it is. Balanced defense and possession and attack, as that's realistic to what I would want my manager to play. I haven't bothered setting up attacking, defensive instructions or anything like that. And yeah, just sorting out the player instructions at this point. You can see we are sending Danny Ings to get in behind, and I think Jay Adams was to stay short, but I think I might have switched those two over a bit later on. You can see I edited the positions as well to make it a bit realistic, with Oriol Romeo sat back a bit more than James Ward-Prowse and Ings a bit more, poachery instead of false nine. First transfer offer was actually for Danny Ings, but I forgot to record it. It was from Roma, so we straight rejected it because Southampton aren't selling Danny Ings last summer, are they? And £17 million for Kyle Walker-Peters, which at first I thought it wasn't realistic, but it actually probably is. You're seeing a lot of young English players heading over to Germany. So I guess if I had my time again, I might go ahead and accept that one actually. Next up, we had a offer for Dan and Delundaloo, and I was just trying to get this offer up a little bit more, and it just blew up in my face, to be honest with you. I was literally just trying to increase it by like 100k, and they genuinely just told me no. Yeah, I increased it from 700 to 900. They were like, no, we want 700, and then I think I did it to 800 and expecting them to say yes, and no, they didn't. Then this was actually recorded a couple of weeks ago. We went ahead and signed this guy, Omar Richards from the MLS, who actually has been signed by Bayern Munich on a pre-contract in real life, which is crazy because this was just a guy that I saw. I knew he played for Reading, and apparently he's moved to the MLS in game, or like on loan or something. And we went and signed him, and yeah, he's actually signed from Bayern since then. So I just spot talents apparently. If a huge European comes in for him in the future, then we know it's realistic and we can sell him on if it's the right price. We had another loan option to buy here for Dan and Delundaloo, and I just wanted to make sure this one went through because he's about our fourth or fifth choice striker. We have a better young striker in Michael Obafemi, I think his name is. So Dan Delundaloo isn't really gonna be playing for the club, so we just went and accepted something around 700k, I think it was for him, 800k. So yeah, in terms of Omar Richards, we went and stuck him on an inverted wide back training session to try and improve his weak foot because it's only 2-star, which isn't great. He does have some really nice stats too, and other positives is we can increase his ball control, dribbling, and a bit of that pace with that same development plan. Next up, we had an interesting offer for Armstrong, but I didn't really want the player that they offered. But I do love the fact that clubs start to do moves like this, and we might be accepting some of them in the future if the players are a bit realistic. And then next up, we have a second transfer offer, which is Tom Davies from Everton, who a couple of years ago was looking like a really good hot prospect, but he sort of dropped off a bit since then. His players at Southampton are actually rumoured to be interested in real life, and I feel like you can't really get much more realistic than going for players that teams are sort of rumoured to be buying. Oriol Romeo isn't great on FIFA, and I feel like Davies will be class next to James Ward-Prowse. £8 million and 35k a week isn't bad for a regular starter, and we're going to give him the playmaker development role once we get this signing done. And yeah, I just feel like those two, British core in centre mid, can really develop together and can sort of develop a really good partnership, you know? And then next up, we confirmed that Davies would be a playmaker, and then we had an offer for some random dude with no face, so straight away accepted that. And we had our first youth intakes. The best one from the English report was this left back called Taylor Guy, who seemed pretty good. We will check everyone out in the youth academy properly in just a second as well. From the Welsh report, we didn't really have anyone great, so I think we sent one of them up and just kept looking at one of them for a few more months. And then we'll look at the final report, which is the Irish report, and the best player in here was definitely Robert Donovan. You can see 53 to 71 current ability and 80 to 94 potential. We're going to train Donovan as an anchorman to get his speed up a little bit because you see that his physical is only a yellow. It would be nice to get him as a really, really fast, sort of strong CDM, sort of like a Vieira type player. I feel like that will suit him really well. And then Taylor Guy, we're going to train as an inverted wing back to get his speed up a little bit. Charlton, who is the third best player probably we got from those intakes, we'll see if we can change him to a centre back, and I think that will be the best position for him. And actually, something that was pretty good is that Riley Charlton would only take around 2 weeks to change to a centre back, so we'll be able to look pretty quickly about what happens. But after that disaster struck, Leeds United actually went and met Adams' release clause, which is only £14.8 million, which I just personally thought was ridiculously low. And he hasn't long moved to Southampton, so I thought I'd try and renew his contract to attempt to cancel that deal. Luckily, we were actually able to keep him, otherwise we'd have to rush in and get a striker in the next few days, as right after this we play West Brom. And yeah, fortunately he was actually able to accept it, and I think it was only an increase of like £5,000 that we offered him, and he straight up accepted it. After this, we went and quickly increased the injury sliders that I spoke about earlier. 75 and 65 is sort of where I think is more realistic, if you know what I mean. Then we go ahead to the lineups and the start of the game. West Bromwich Albion are probably one of the weakest teams in the league, so we definitely need to get a dub here. They're going to be playing a 4-1-4-1 formation with the main danger men being Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Diagne, and actually someone that they bought from Hertha Berlin in Germany, Nicholas Stark, which I thought was really surprising to see that deal go through, but really cool to see that they're actually trying to spend some money and improve their squad. We're going to be playing the 4-4-2 that we spoke about earlier. McCarthy in goal with Kyle Walker-Peters, Bednarek, Salisu and Bertrand across the back four. Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, Diallo and Gineppo as our midfield four, and then Danny Ings and Che Adams up front. What a strike force that is. Richards and Davies make the bench and will probably come on for their debuts later on. And in terms of that, yeah, just getting into the game and making sure we can focus on getting this dub. The first chance is actually for us. You can see Diallo on the ball here, making some space for Danny Ings, and the ball comes into Armstrong. I think his name's Stuart Armstrong. I'm not 100% sure actually. And the shot flashes just past the post. It's actually a good opportunity there. I think I went for a low driven in that circumstance, and it was just wide of the post. Next up, we have some nice hold-up play here from James Adams, who plays it back toward Prowse, and Danny Ings is through, and Danny Ings doesn't miss. Like, this guy is one of the best strikers in the Prem, top 10 definitely. Maybe not quite up there with the best of the best strikers in the Prem, but he's a fantastic finisher, and on his day he is one of the best. Just not quite consistently enough with his injury proneness and everything, but it's a really nice finish into the corner from Danny Ings. Definitely a striker that we're going to try and keep hold of, but if another big team comes in for him, if he gets a bunch of goals this season, then we'll probably have to sell him. West Brom's first chance is a really, really poor shot from their striker, and we actually win the ball back very deep in their own half here, and Che Adams goes for the hopeful shot, but it's a good save from Sam Johnston, who is another good goalkeeper. Some good play here from Danny Ings as we managed to work the ball out wide to Armstrong. Plays it back into Danny Ings, and we whip it into that back post for Janepo, who heads it just over the bar. Good play there from us, sort of getting some nice play and some nice spell towards this area of the second half, which is nice to see. We actually won the ball back quite deep in our own half there, and we got a bit of a counter attack coming on here. Che Adams gets a bit of luck, and wins the ball back from the defender, and it's a good save from Sam Johnston, but unfortunately it's straight to Armstrong. Not so pretty there, that goal, but we will take it at this stage of the season to go 2-0 up against relegation candidates, really, West Bromwich Albion. I think they came, what, 19th, 20th in this season in real life, unless I'm completely blanking. I'm 99% sure they came 19th or 20th and were relegated. But yeah, then here we actually win the ball back from Salisu. But unfortunately it says that we've made a foul there, and Robson Carney with a really nice finish there, right into the bottom corner. And it kind of made it tense for these last few minutes there. It was a really nice finish from Robson Carter. I'm not sure who this was with the assist. I think it's Ainsley Maitland-Niles passes it to that unknown midfielder. And yeah, it's just a really nice quick finish there from Robson Carney. But then in the 94th minute, Che Adams with another nice bit of play with his strike partner and gets in behind. But it's a good save from the goalkeeper there, Sam Johnston, making it look easy. But I tell you what, that was going right in that corner there. And that was actually the full-time whistle and the end of the first match, which is a 2-1 win, which takes us towards the top half, and actually the end of the first episode. We're just been playing this one game today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. 11 shots to 5, I think that was, with James Ward-Prowse, the captain, being the man of the match in the first game. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new around here. See you next time. Bye-bye.